All right, your pick.
Let's do Tougen Anki. Anki?
No. I'm gonna just say it. There's some people in this show I want to put in the book. I might not get the votes, and that's fine. Do we have a page for them already? Yeah,
I feel
no.
like we did.
That's Teogonia.
Because I'm sure we would have put that guy in there.
One can only hope. I just gotta find the page. But anywho, I'm gonna just say it. It might be an unpopular opinion, and that's fine. But I cannot stand this new Momotaro that we've been introduced to. He's awful. Like, he doesn't even have to do all that. Like, he is.
Oh, Sabakri?
Yeah, like, he didn't have to do that kid like that. So I'm not really a fan of him.
Oh yeah, that alone.
That was awful. Like, that kid was just minding his own business, trying to, like, hide. And he wasn't here for it. He was...
OMG, beating on that kid.
It was terrible.
Put Sue Baraki in the book.
Yeah, like, he's awful. So, yeah, okay, I'm glad I got the votes. Because at first I was a little worried. Like, even his partner was like, yo, this is one of the things I can't stand about him. He just takes it too far. And it's just, yeah, he's going to be a problem. He already is a problem, but
his partner, kind of. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I'm just saying, like, right now, I'm not a fan of him. I'm truly not a fan of him, but that's okay. But yeah, the show's picking up because I was a little bit worried about, like, hey, how are they going to take this from the exam where we're getting tested and stuff? Another person who I want to just put in the book, and I might not get the votes for this one too. I mean, but I got the votes for the last one, so I'm fine. I'm not a fan of Jin. I'm not a fan of Jin at all. I think his behavior is, like, really immature, and he doesn't work well with others, and I'm just like, in this moment, you need to, like, get it together for the greater good. And he thought it was appropriate for him to, like, oh, okay, because both of my people are out of commission, I'm gonna go ahead and try to take on the teacher. And I'm just like, read the room. You basically almost died because of the Titan, and even the teacher said it, but you think that you're strong enough to lay hands on him, but you couldn't even handle, like, the Titan by yourself. Like, where is he getting this? Like, where is he getting his, like, confidence from? Because I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But I feel like he's definitely gonna be a problem moving forward. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not really a fan of him and his, like, growth moving forward. I just don't like him as a character, and that's fine. That's just how I feel.
Sure. I mean, Sabakri, yeah. I kind of been Constantian.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, he know the book.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. I'm glad I got 2 votes. Yes, okay.
Yeah, didn't really care for... I was like, I mean, it was a nice cop-out. You know, they're trying to race to get back, finish the test, an emergency summons happened. So I'm like, okay, it's like, I don't want to say it's different, but I'm like, okay, a cop-out, that way you don't have to finish it. Like, nice, different take.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to put all the kids are... Well, most of these kids, that's why I'm not going to do it, but these kids had a reality check, because as we're driving on the boat, we let them know, like, you're going to help the support unit.
He said, y'all not going out, and he was like, oh, I thought this would be a great moment to train. He was like, no.
Like, all of them thinking that they're ready for this life, and it's like, no, you're not. Like, we find out Tsubaki can go ahead and control the dead. It looks like he has, like, this puppet ability.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I was like, that's like, if you're going to try to get into a secret hideout, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. So I was very impressed with that. Yeah,
he purposely left bodies around so he can track them.
Right. Because he was like, I don't know where the secret spot's at. He said, but they'll take their dead there. So I was just like, that's true. That's pretty smart.
Like, these kids stick me up. All you're hearing is, oh, I want to fight. I should be out there. This is what real battles are like. When they showed the support unit. People missing limbs.
Yeah.
You know? You don't even comprehend what's really out there, you little young punks.
Yeah.
And then you're over here, oh yeah. You think you're all of that in a bag of chips. And you're not.
And you're not. I like the commander of the support squad. Like, I think he's pretty good, and I love how he put them into work. But I also love how the nurses were like, "Yo, what are y'all doing? Go get blood. Like, get to work. Like, what
are we standing around for?"
Right.
Now, what I didn't understand is this Shibakari person clearly is killing all the nobodies.
Right.
There's a group there.
Mm-hmm.
Their commander and vice commander get killed. Why are you still here? Like, I'm confused. Mm-hmm. Madano shows up, and they're like, "Yeah, he's here." Okay, so y'all should leave.
Right. I was like, "Can we get these worthless people out of here?" I was like, "What do y'all think y'all gonna do? Contribute? Y'all just gonna be in the way?
Yeah.
Get out of the way."
So I didn't understand. Other than that, kind of off course. I guess I need to see more of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like the style that they do. Like it's nothing against other anime styles, but they kind of, it's like a lot of their women are like real women. Like they're
okay, yeah, the body types are
more.
more.
They actually have like size to them, you know, like curves. They're like, they seem like real women.
Actual real people, yes.
Right, and you know, and how you can be thicker and still come off as slim or toned or what have you. It's just not the usual. And I was just like,
That's true.
I've seen this for several people now. It's like, okay.
Also, we have some diversity in sizes. That's great.
But then stuff got real.
Really fast.
When he had to go ahead, main character had to go ahead and be shooting people.
Oh, Shiki, yeah.
Shooting people in the head.
Yeah, he had to
kill May's parents.
That was sad. I felt bad for May.
In front of her.
Yeah, I felt bad for her. But I do appreciate how she was like, no, this needs to happen. Like, she wasn't upset or vengeful against Shiki. Like, she also grasped the situation, which I feel like not enough kid characters do in shows. So I was like, shout outs to May, where she's like, okay, I'm over here sad for my parents. I see them coming back to life, and then she realized, like, oh wait, this isn't my dad.
Right.
This isn't my mom. And so I'm just like, high five to her for actually understanding the gravity of the situation.
Well, she did at first.
Well, I mean, which is fine because she was still traumatized. But I'm just saying, it didn't take the whole 2 to 3 episodes for her to get there.
That's
so that's what I mean. Like, she got there much quicker than most other shows do. So I was like, shout out to May. I will say I appreciate, like, later on we start to see more of the other students' abilities, because, you know, we were kind of robbed of that, like, for the thing. And then I can't remember. Yeah, he was just like, this is how my ability works. And I was like, because his other class, I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm aware of how my ability works, so I can get up to like a 15-meter radius to see where people are at. And I was like, yes. I said, okay. Staying out of the way, not causing any troubles, and just doing what they can to do some recon. I was like, I'm not mad at that. I wasn't mad at that. So, I'm excited to see what the other students' abilities are.
This one loudmouth, he better have something, because he's been rubbing me the wrong way.
Yeah, so, he has been pretty loud.
You know, calling people glasses.
Right.
Going ahead and questioning what other people, like, don't worry about what other people do. Right. You do what you need to do. How about that?
Yeah.
Don't worry about us.
Don't worry about us. Mind your business. So I'm excited. I'm intrigued to see how the show's gonna go. I was worried at first, but I'm like, hey, there's more. There's more to the story. So I'm excited. I'm still excited with Tougen.
And then Tsubakari killed the grandma at the entrance.
That was crazy.
And that was like, put him in the book again.
Yeah, you know what? Times 2. That's not, because I was like, he didn't have to do all that. Because that's what I mean. I feel like he's just like an overkill person. And I'm just like, you're just really excessive for no reason.
Well, I mean, we were told this. Because he was like, let's just say, the boat ride. He was like, let's just say a problem.
That's right. And I was like, oh, great. We've run into him before. And he was like, hey, Mudano. And he's just like, oh, gosh. Like, here we go. But yeah, so I'm enjoying the show. So far, I'm enjoying the show. All right, cool. Let's see. What's next? My pick. Wait for it. The Summer Hikaru died.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, I still don't feel good about this. I feel like my same complaints from the last episode. Like, those three men who are, like, the elders or, like, the village chiefs or whatever know more than they're letting on. Sure. And they're even talking amongst themselves, like, man, like, why didn't we, like, step up? Why didn't we try to help the Endos out with this? Like, and I'm just like, these are all fair questions. Yes, criticize yourselves thoroughly because it's clear that something's happening and y'all the reason for it, because they're just like, we shouldn't have let them do that, because now we got more information throughout this time where, like, Hikaru was gone for a minute. In the beginning, it made it seem like he was gone for like 1 to 2 weeks, but it was like half a year went by, and then he randomly like shows up, and then you guys were like, oh yeah, he back, and I was like, that wasn't concerning to you? This mountain's not that huge. And so I was just like really concerned. I was like, so you all let the search go on I'm like, because I don't even know how long they searched for him for, before he just randomly reappeared. And then then Yoshiki, he comes across him, he was like, his body's like cold, like he's been here for a while before they even try to do this search party. So I was like, I don't know. So I would say I'm just disappointed in like the village chiefs or whatever. I'm just like, and then they have the audacity to criticize the person that they hired for help. And I'm just like, y'all didn't do nothing when y'all even knew that things were going on. So, so like, who are you? So yeah, I just like, I'm not a fan of them. I mean, I'm not enough to put them in the book, but I feel like I'm getting there. But we end up learning more, like we have like the summer festival. We learned what happened to his sister, because like she is shut in now. But she wanted to go to the festival really bad, and so like Hikaru's like, yeah, I want to go too. And then this is where that guy comes into play, where his name's Tanaka, where he's been setting up traps to be all like, hey, like, I believe that whatever was on the mountain is no longer on the mountain. It's in y'all's village. And I'm surprised, like, how have they been, like, it's probably amongst the people. And they never even considered that when he was talking about it. So he laid some stuff in wait, and they tried to go through, like, the shrine gate. And, like, Hikaru's like, ooh, I can't get past. He said, that's interesting. And then he was like, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And I'm just like, no one's noticing this, but I'm like, fine. That's fine. But
people don't be noticing a lot.
Apparently not in this town, except for that mom. And then we come to find out Asako knows a lot, because Asako's been telling Yuki, like, hey, maybe don't cross the train tracks today. We get backstory on like Asako and how she's able to see like the supernatural and stuff. Like she's able to hear. Whereas her grandma was able to like see them, but she's not able to hear them. But Asako's not able to see; she's able to hear. And then we come to find out later that Asako's like, she approaches like Hikaru when they're all at Hikaru's place, doing stuff for fireworks, 1-on-1, and she was like, "Hey, you're not actually Hikaru. Like, what happened?" She was like, "I know this sounds strange, but she's like, I'm able to like." She said, but she was like, you're being possessed by something. She doesn't know that Hikaru's not there anymore. She's just like, something changed. And he was just like, well, how did you know? And then he was about to take her out.
Yeah, he gonna kill her.
And then Yoshiki shows up and he was like, what are you doing? What were you going to do? And he was like, I was gonna like take her out. I was gonna kill her. And then he said, were you gonna do that to me? He was like, I was never gonna do that to you. And so it just got more and more weird.
I kind of like low-key can't stand this show.
I can't. I'm just like annoyed. I feel like there's like a lot of annoyances for me with the show.
To me, it's like it shouldn't have got this far.
That's what I mean, and I think that's the part for me that's annoying. That's what's annoying. And then we came to find out that his meeting with that mom in the diner was longer than it was before, and she gave us more context. But I was like, too many people know or are alluding to that something's happening here. And this has gone on for too long. And, like, even Tanaka was like, isn't it strange that y'all the only village that still has a shrine, but all the other villages around you have churches?
Yeah, grow up.
He was like, what's this about? He said, what are y'all truly worshiping here? And they're just like, what do you mean? And I'm just like, something's off. Something's amiss. And I was like, so yeah, I agree. Like, I'm, like, annoyed by it, but I want to see how it ends. I don't... Because I have no idea how this is going to end. Because we come to find out that Hikaru kind of, like, the original Hikaru, in a way, kind of started it by saying, like, hey, I just don't want my friend to be alone. And so, like, whatever was, like, in the world or that spirit was like, cool, I'm going to take over your body and I'm going to honor your wish. And I'm just like... How did we get here? How was that the deciding factor?
Right.
And then I'm just like, well, how did his dad die? I was like, his dad die in the same way? Does that mean we need to stop doing this ritual? Where's the mom in all of this? Like, I just don't understand, like, how she's...
You're asking way too many questions.
I just have to know. It was a three people family. The husband died. We don't talk about that. And then her son missing for a while, and she's not in the search. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just like, that's concerning.
I got lack of good parenting.
I mean, that's true. And then we come to find out he did kill that old lady in the whatchamacallit. That was him.
We just got...
It's just too much.
It's like letting evil walk among us.
And run amok.
I'm just not... Maybe it'll be clearer. I mean... It could keep being discussed. I feel like it's something like, case in point, it's called like Sunny something.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
In increments, it was rough to watch.
Yes.
When I watched it all in one binge, it was better.
Got it. I feel like that might be this is.
That's what this is.
Yeah, I feel like that's totally...
what this is.
Yeah.
Because I'm too annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, because Yoshiki's not making good decisions at all. And I'm just like, this is concerning. But yeah, that's all I got with the show. Like, I'm pulled in. I just need answers. And I need questions answered. I don't know if I'm going to ever get them.
Right.
But I just don't know.
I'm on the fence about this. Scooped up by an S-rank adventurer.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong.
Okay,
I love the watch.
Yes.
I'm literally looking at some of my notes. I got 1 or 2 page sentences for recaps. Like, it's a good watch.
It's a good watch.
Maybe not a discuss. Like, we are learning what a real party is.
And I think that's refreshing. I think that's why I'm, like, excited about this show. Because we've had too many adventure shows where they've been bad parties. And I'm just like, for once, I'm glad that I have a person who got kicked out of their party before. And then they actually are, like, recruited by a good-willed party who knows who's strong, who can back it up, and they treat people nice. And I was like, I don't see that often. So so that's why I'm appreciating that, hey, there's no drama, there's no craziness. They're like, hey, you don't have to, like, do watch by yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
they're like, hey, you don't trust us?
Like, right, and
we're not friends?
Right, like, what's going on? And so that's why I'm just like, I'm committed to the show because, like, it's not something that we get to see often consistently. And so that's why I'm like, okay.
We're introduced into Lord Michel.
Yes.
And I'm like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly they're planning something in the background.
Obviously, yeah.
Demons are planning to attack. It looks like somehow, some way, this one beast folk lady was taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And they're using her powers to control animals. She gives us, that one lady doesn't know personal space, so she kind of gives us a fake name, Koriha.
Mm-hmm.
But we find out her real name. I didn't write it down. I think it's like Claire.
It is Claire.
And then, to me, the show's done. I hit the climax I wanted.
You hit the
Finally, Lena leaves the hero's party. That should have happened.
She does
immediately.
And I appreciate.
When she realized.
But I like this is another thing that I like about this show is like we get to publicly see the demise of the hero in real time.
Sure.
And because normally it happens
He was
behind.
bad-mouthing the heck out
Yeah,
of it.
because it was like, because normally it happens behind closed doors where they're just like, hey, my magic's not working. But she was like, but he did it front and center in front of like the guild. He said, y'all can be a part of our plan. This the plan. And then they're slowly like, hey, my magic's not been the same. And he was like, why are you just telling me now? And then Lena's just like, you haven't even been training.
Yeah,
and so she was like, and I was like, yo, and then like he runs
threw a
up.
punch at her.
And
I was
it
like,
did
put
land.
Alan in the book.
I can put him in the book. It's not a problem.
Surprised he ain't in there, probably. He probably is.
I don't know if we have. I don't know. I think we were waiting to see what else was going to happen. Because we're just like, are we actually going to ever see him again, or are we just like in our new life now? But he might be. No, we did. We put the whole party in there. But we can take, except for the shield lady. That's what we said. That's right. Because now Lena's not in there. So no Lena.
Well, Alan can get a double chair.
Okay, yeah, he can get his, yeah, absolutely.
And then the other issue I had was I was like, based off of how they said it.
Yeah.
I was like, they ain't got the town yet? Because like the fact that we separated and they had this speed boost, they made it, he was like, y'all going on ahead. And it becomes nightfall? I'm like, yo, we ain't got the town yet? Like, what's
I was thinking that too. I was like, what's going on? But I do like the fact that they split up and they're just like, hey, y'all do this, we gonna handle this over here. And I was like, that's how you do it. That's totally how you do it. And so, yeah, so that's why I'm okay with this show, because it's like, I'm seeing a competent party.
Sure.
I'm seeing like a trusting, competent, strong party. They're able to handle business. Like immediately they're just like, hey, they're like, hey, this is a ruse, this is a distraction. We need to immediately get back to town. Like with some other shows, it's like, oh, we gotta talk about it for 1 or 2 episodes. They're just like, let's clean this up here, and then we need to immediately go back to town. So I'm just seeing like they're doing everything that we don't get to normally see in these other hero shows, and I'm like, I'm here for it. So, yeah.
That's all the notes I have. That's all I'm saying.
And that's okay, but that's okay though. I feel like now it's about to pick up some more, because like Alan ran with with his tail between his legs, and then the rest of the hero party went with him, and I was like, why would y'all follow suit with him if he even badmouthed y'all to be all like, why ain't y'all said it, like, what have y'all been doing?
I didn't know if the mage had went well, because she was like, I haven't been able to use my magic the same way. He was like, what? Why didn't you say something? Right.
But I was like, but what have y'all been doing anyway? I haven't seen y'all go nowhere. So, yeah.
Failing missions.
Apparently. So, I'm happy that Lloyd's off to bigger and better things. And that's great. But yeah, so I'm still enjoying the show. We can decide if we're going to drop it or not, if it's going to be back burner, but I'm still committed to the show. All right. I feel like, are those all the fluff shows? I'm trying not to like go too deep into like the strong ones right away.
I mean, detectives these days.
That's what. Yeah.
Solo camping.
Well, no, I didn't think we were still talking about solo camping.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't think we were going to talk about that. Yeah, but detective these days. There you go. Because I was like, what else is on the list?
It's funny that you said the fluff. You watch a whole show that's fluff.
Are you talking about Arknights?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! You know what? You know what, Justin? It's fine.
Tell us what happened on Arknights.
It got even realer. I just don't understand how you're not enjoying this show. Fine, we're not going to talk about detective these days. We'll talk about that next. So, I'm just like, it was nothing. It was everything. It was everything. Because like now we're at the climax, because now Tallulah's empire is collapsing.
Oh my gosh.
It is. And I love Tallulah.
I just thought of the most perfect plan.
Okay, what's the perfect plan? Okay.
This in the business, folks, is called a tease. Okay? Without letting them know what we discussed earlier, we'll put in the chat.
Okay.
We'll put Arknight. And the tease, people, is that way we'll have another opinion about Arknight.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Arknight in what capacity? This season, or like the first from starting from the beginning?
From the beginning.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. And all right, fine. That's 10 toes down. That's totally fine. Like the opinion won't change.
I would love it.
Okay, great. Put it in the chat. Don't forget, And
I'm putting it in there now.
Absolutely. So, anyways, so apparently this will be the last time the Arknights is talked about in the current season, which is fine. I'm gonna still keep watching it, but I'm enjoying this season because now we're finally getting to that point of like Tallulah's empire is dropping, but we're also getting more of her backstory, which I really do appreciate because before we always saw her like, who is she? What is she about? What's her connection to all these people? Like, what's her connection with Rhode Island? Like, what's her connection with Chin? And now we're coming to find out like her and Chin are like half sisters, and there's like a whole thing that's going on with that, and like we get her backstory of how she ended up becoming that voice for the infected because she was like seeing how many of them were being like mistreated and like sacrificed and everything else, and she was like enough is enough. And so like she started from this very righteous place, and then like how she accumulated like people, and then we move on, and it's like we have now these the past 3 episodes is just like the pinnacle where it's like people have been talking about betraying Tallulah because they're just like what she said was going to happen is not happening. Right. And now they're just like, we need to hold her accountable. And then we have people like the Patriot who was like, colluding with W about like, hey, like she's not doing what she said she was gonna do. We're not where we're supposed to be. So we need to obviously like take Tallulah out. And so W was like, I'm down for that story. And then W got handled by Tallulah, but Tallulah never addressed it Patriot. And I was like, does she know that Patriot is, scheming against her? But then at the same time, like, Patriot's like, I'm going to take on Rhode Island because he said, if y'all about what y'all say y'all about, y'all should be able to get through me to, like, handle Tallulah. And he was like, and if you can't, then that's the end of your cause, and then we're going to go handle it. And I was just like, that's a different way to go about it. I was like, sure. But then we learned more about our main person from Rhode Island who works my nerves, which is, what's her name? Darn it. Is it Mia? What's her name? You don't know. It's fine. Hold on. I gotta get it. No, Amiya. I was right. Yeah, because we learned more about Amiya and like her true role in the world is that she had, and like why her power looks so much darker than everyone else's is because we come to find out that she has been given. She basically inherited her power from like the last king of the world, which was this woman, right? And so once Patriot put 2 and 2 together, he was like, "Oh, you inherited her power," and then when they're in their final moment of this fight, he basically says a prophecy about how the king is the one who's going to destroy the world. And like Amiya is like aware of the prophecy, and she's like freaking out that he's like sharing it with people. Right. But then she's standing 10 toes down and she's like, yeah, that might be the prophecy, but that's not gonna be me. And then Patriot's like, then prove it. Take me out now. And then Amiya does. And no one thought that she was gonna actually like kill Patriot point blank in the period, and so she was about to, but then there got to a weird point where he stopped himself from attacking her so that she could actually like carry it out. And I was like, is that really doing the thing? Because like even Kultz, who was like bearing witness to like Patriot's death, was just like, he stopped himself. Like she's like, what was the point of this? Like you should just move out the way in the first place. But I don't know. For me, I'm enjoying it because we're seeing how like the different factions are, how they're in disagreement, but then they're having these moments where they are fighting, like, joining together for the greater good, because we have, like, Rose Montes, who's, like, this cat lady, where even Patriot's like, oh, you're very powerful, so why aren't you doing more? And then, like, yeah, so it's just, like, for me, it's just, like, breaking down the story as I continue to grow. I've totally, like, given up on, like, the doctor or whatever, because I'm not really interested in this character anymore.
Isn't he a vital part of this?
I wouldn't know. I will say that's my one irritation with this entire thing is like, I don't know what purpose the doctor has. They be making it sound like they're like the top operator where they're able to be like the strategist and hold things down. Right. But I'm like, I haven't seen you truly do that, because Kultz is like
where's your proof of this?
Right, Kultz is just like, monster, let's go. Chin's like, let's go. Hoshiguma, when she's there, let's go. So I'm just like, I don't really know what the point of the doctor is. Maybe they're just here for fluff. Who knows? But I'm committed to the story because I'm like, I just think the way that they're doing is very brilliant, of like how they're like really building this world, this very chaotic world that's like obviously like crumbling underneath itself, and like something that's trying to reemerge. And there are multiple things that are like fighting each other to be able to be that research, to be what reemerges or what emerges from that. So I'm still a fan. I like the fight scenes. They have it. They deliver. But yeah, we'll maybe in an off the course we'll focus on it. That's fine. So that's Arknights. Justin's not a fan. And let's go ahead with the Detective These Days. Detectives These Days.
Jumping right into it.
I mean, I feel like that's the only other show that's like
Fluff.
that's fluff. I think so. I mean, there are just so many shows this season.
Would you call this fluff or like? I mean, this is like insane hijinks.
It was. I feel like this show is hijinks to no end, but I'm here for it. Like, yeah, I'm enjoying
it. Chaos.
It is. It's immediate chaos too. It just happens. Well, how do you feel about it? How are you feeling about detectives these days?
Nonsensical.
Mm-hmm.
It's a watch.
It's a hijink watch. It's a hijink watch. I think it's just like, I feel like this is like, for me, maybe this is my top hijink show for the season, and that's fine. Like, we have moments.
Wait, whoa.
What?
What do you mean for the season? Do you mean for the year? I think this is the only real hijink show.
No, I feel like there are other hijinks, but you know what? I wouldn't mind having a category for awards like hijinks. I feel like this show does it pretty good with the hijinks.
Sure. And
keeping the plot going. You know, it was great how, you know, they got lured into this trap that was obviously a trap, and they got paid to do it. And then my question was like, did we get paid after we get the remaining amount? And it seemed like the person who did it had a thing against Hana because only her pictures kept showing up. And I was just like, that's crazy. Yeah, and we just meet a new person below us because we think that people are tapping in. And then we come to find out at the end of the episode that there are like multiple people in our detective office who have been spying on us for a long time, which was weird. And I was like, that's interesting as well.
I wonder if he knew.
Huh?
I wonder if he knew the whole time.
I don't think so, but I don't think he pays much attention.
He was supposed to be such a great detective when he was younger.
Yeah, but he's also like not tuned in to like all of like the tech stuff.
That's true.
So he's just like, okay, what will be will be. So, you know, I'm enjoying this show. I like the outro a lot. It's just like a good like hygiene show.
I'm trying to think, have I listened to the outro?
The outro's pretty good. The outro's pretty good because it's Mashiro singing it, and so, and you know, we get more lore of the world, which I think is great because apparently there are like these 4 old men that everyone knows about, and Nagumo's actually one of the old men that is a folklore of urban legend, and I was like, that's cool. I don't think he knows. But yeah, I'm enjoying this show. I think it's just like a good chill show to watch.
I guess I gotta watch the outro.
Yeah,
I like the intro suffer a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I like the intro too.
Yeah, let me look into this outro, I guess.
I feel like this is one of the few shows where like the intro and outro really match the show, and it's like, yeah, it's really good. So I feel like that's also what makes it really strong. I was like, it checks out. All right, cool. Let's move on to like the harder stuff. Yes.
What are mysteries?
Wow, you're gonna jump there? Okay.
I mean, the only other jump would be, well, let me check this page.
I was like, what do you mean? We got Sakamoto Days, we got Dandadan, we got Clevatis.
Are you putting? I'm confused.
Shield Hero.
So are you? What's it? Oh yeah, Shield.
Yeah.
Are you saying Lord of Mysteries is better than those?
I mean, and then like Gotcha. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I would have
said you went there.
Or like Kaiju. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like.
I mean, out of everything, I think I would go Takopii there.
Right. That I'm just trying because I feel like you and I don't know. I feel like I can talk about Lord of Mysteries. I just feel like it's just such a heavy dense show that I feel like we give him more time. But
okay, got it. Well, let's do Takopii.
Okay, so Takopi's done because it was only a 6er.
Yeah.
And we finally learned what Takopi's original sin was. And I feel like this show still one of the most saddest, disturbing shows to watch.
Okay.
But I was not expecting the twist that we got at all. And this is me jumping, unless you want to. Okay. Because we come to find out the original sin is like, so originally he was helping Marina. Wait, is her name Marina? Hold on, I gotta get all my names together.
And
I'm gonna get all my names together.
Mariana?
Yeah. So yeah, Marina.
Oh, maybe it's
it's Marina. Okay. Yeah, because we come to find out when Takopii originally came to Earth initially, he was there to help Marina. And he only went back in time. He went back to the home planet because Marina was like, oh my gosh, like, my life is terrible, all this stuff, because like the boy that I liked, who was like, Azuma, ended up breaking up with me because, like, even in this timeline, her mom was still awful. She was still trash. Still bad mom. And, like, her only saving grace in that moment was, like, Azuma. And, like, the mom was like, oh, I'm going to do my best to show up for her and her boyfriend and do this nice dinner. But then, like, Shizuka comes back to town as when they're teenagers. And, like, Azuma's like, I loved her since, like, we were in elementary school, so I can't be with you anymore. And so when Marina tells, like, hey, he's not coming because, like, some other girl got his attention, and I think she put two and two together of, like, that was the daughter of, like, of the lady that her husband, like, cheated on her with. I think she just lost it, and then she just, like, went to town on Marina, and Marina couldn't take it anymore, and so she had to defend herself, and so, like, she ended up killing her mom because her mom was, like, going at her with glass and everything else. Because, like, she scarred up her face pretty badly when she was a teenager. And so the mom was like, why won't you let it go? Like, it's my fault. And I'm just like, it is. Like, you shouldn't be, like, being mad at your daughter because she didn't order kombucha. You can order kombucha online. Like, I'm just confused. So Takopi's like, what's wrong? And she was like, if only Shizuka wasn't here, like, my life would be much better. And then Takopii was like, oh, then I'll kill Shizuka. I'll just go back in time and do that. And I was like, this is crazy. So that's when he goes back to the home planet, collects all what's needed for the big clock. And then the mom's like, hey, like, you're not supposed to do this. And then he hit her, and she was like, why would you do that? Like, you're banished. Like, you can't do this. But then he was like, hey, I'm still going to do this. I'll tell y'all one day. And apparently, part of what, because this is the part that confused me, it seemed like the mom octopus was like, because of your banishment, like, you're gonna not be able to come back here, you're gonna lose your memories of Earth. And so it seemed like half of it happened, because when he went through the big clock and went back to, like, when Shizuku and them were kids, he couldn't remember why he was there.
Right, what his mission was.
He couldn't remember what his mission was. And then he comes across, like, then we get to the original timeline where we're at the present timeline, where he's engaging and helping Shizuka, and since he forgot about Marina, he's like, oh, it's Marina's fault, so I need to, like, he's like, and so I was like, you killed Marina. And I was like, that's crazy. I was like, that was wild. And then he finally realized later on, like, he finally remembered, like, who he was truly there for and what happened. And I was just like, and so it was just wild to me. I was just like, I wasn't expecting this.
It's trippy.
It was trippy, and then there's a moment where, like, Shizuka, I want to put her in the book because, like, she was like, Azuma, like, I can't take the fall for this. I can't take the fall for them finding Marina's body. And I was like, no one's asking you to because you didn't kill her. Right. Takopii did. So the fact that you two are even trying to, like, admit to a crime that you did not commit is crazy. And then Azuma's like, okay, I'm going to do this for you. And finally he, reconciles with his brother and tells his brother what's going on. And his brother's like, nah, we're not taking the fall for this. Like, he still does, like, the police thing because people are just like, oh, they say it was him because he was, like, the class president. But they're like, it was obviously Shizuka because those girls were like, it was probably that one girl. And they were just, like, running their mouth talking about, like, it was her.
I just don't understand why couldn't they see the octopus.
That's my thing. I was like, is not everybody able to see him? Because, like, Azuma was able to see him at some point because before he wasn't. So I was like, just make yourself be known and let Takopii do the
time. It would have made more sense, or would have been more trippy.
Yeah.
If Marina was able to see him, like, even if it was just when they were in the current, even like when she initially kept going to find them when they were walking the dog. If she at some point had, like, looked down at him, just to acknowledge she could see him,
right?
That would have made the trippiness even wilder for the lead up. But that's what I just think has to get is Is he invisible to whom he decides?
I mean, I don't know. But I finally got to get just desserts. I'm okay with. I mean, the ending's okay. The ending's alright. Takopi's gone, which I'm glad. You know, he was nothing.
Are you gonna put Takopii in the book?
I would like to, because like this is all his fault. Like he shouldn't.
You have the vote.
I was like, because he shouldn't have been here in the first place. I still don't understand what his goal was. Like he wasn't helpful in any of the timelines, in any of it. And I was just like, I said, you didn't have anything in your arsenal, because even Osmond was like, well, what else do you have? And he was like, well, I don't have anything else. And he was like, how are you thinking you're helping people? Like, and then so yeah, for me, I was just like, why is Takopii here? And then like the way they were describing Earth was kind of interesting and weird, and I was just like, okay. But I was just like, are you the only one that's going on these missions?
Yeah, like are there others?
Are there others who are more competent at their job? Is it actually a ruse? Are you octopuses actually like meant to be destructive? I don't know. So for me, I'm okay with, like, I'm thankful that at the end that Shizuka and Marina end up becoming friends, or you know they end up like reconciling and stuff. Because, like, they come to a point where they're, like, going to blows, or not going to blows, but, like, they're kids, and they're just like, oh, wait, what's that thing in that corner? And she's like, oh, it's this octopus or whatever. And then, like, Marina starts to have, like, memories of this person from, like, a future timeline. And so then, like, from that, they're able to bond over, like, this imaginary thing that just basically caused problems in their lives. And he was just like, yeah.
Maybe only children can see it.
I don't know. Well, I don't even know that, because like they didn't, because like, you know, those kids in that classroom was like, that one kid was freaking out. He was like they're like, hey, your fellow classmate passed. He was like, the one behind me. He said, I don't know if I could be in this desk anymore. Like he was properly like crashing out. And I feel like Azuma mom is still the worst. Like she didn't give him any slack, because she was like, oh, your grades failed. And I was like, yeah, they just found out his classmate was murdered. And you're expecting him to pull 100? I was like, she's terrible. And that's why the clinic is going under. And so I'm just like, I'm not mad at that. Am I grateful am I glad that I watched it?
Sure.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I feel like this show,
it was different.
It was definitely different, but I just like, who is this show for? I was like, you know, I feel like none of the parents got reprimanded for their awful behavior. Like the dad, like Shizuku's dad was awful. Shizuku's mom was never remorseful. Marina's mom, she had moments where she was, she's the worst. Like she had moments where she was like regretful, but I was like, this, oh wait, no, Takopi's already in the book, but I'm gonna put it twice by him. We had, actually, that has the most names in there. But, yeah, so I just like, this was a show that didn't really, I don't know. It is different. I ain't never seen a show like this. I don't think, but Choppy's back, so that's the high note.
That's all I know.
Because that was a moment where everything broke, so which makes sense. But yeah, so Takopii. Yeah. I know now I said all that smack about Lord of Mysteries. Can we talk about Dandadan?
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like we can talk about Dandadan. I'm happy with how these episodes rolled out, because I finally got what I wanted.
Okay.
Which was, the grandma finally owned up to it. She was like, if I had known the evil eye was there, I wouldn't have let y'all go by yourselves. She was like, y'all shouldn't have been able to. And so that lets me know that she goes back to your thing, like, oh, she can't leave. She would have been like, she would have actually left, and she would have went with them. And so I finally got my just desserts, and I was like, finally, some accountability. They should have not been in that situation by themselves. Like, thankfully, like, you know, Turbo Granny was there, because Turbo Granny was like, yeah, she's like, don't worry. She's like, he's just like a kid right now. And then I was getting annoyed with Jin, because he didn't really want to get exercise. Because he was like, no, I told him I was going to play with him. And I was like, we can't keep rebuilding this house over your selfishness. And I'm glad that Ira was like, y'all should have told me that y'all were going so that y'all wouldn't have did this by yourselves. And I was like, 100%. She's like one of the actual fighters in the group.
Yeah, she got powers.
She got powers, and she's like, ask questions later. Let's do the thing. And then, too, she was like, also, she's like, yeah, Jen, you're selfish. Like, why are we going to keep, like, putting ourselves in harm's way just because you not taking the time to, like, control this spirit that you're possessed by, and now you're expecting us to, like, make sure that we're watching you and surveillancing you the whole time? I was like, she ain't spitting up a facts. I was like, he's a problem. He's literally a problem. So I'm just like, I was annoyed by Jen. I really wanted to put him in the book in that moment because I was like, this is requiring too much effort and you haven't done anything. You haven't done anything to show me that you're able to, like, keep this spirit in check. Like, you're the only one that wants to keep him around because of his sad story. But even Turbo Granny was like, don't do it. She was like, don't do it. She's like, I don't care how sad he looks. She was like, at the end of the day, he's the evil eye for a reason.
Yeah, she was warning him when we were down below fighting that darn earthworm.
Right, she said, I did not tell y'all already? She's like, how are y'all not picking up what's going on? So I'm just like, I'm glad that now it's taking even more of a serious tone, which I appreciate. I appreciate the exorcism group, musician group. They were like, we're here to support you. I'm like, that's great. Mantis Shrimp is back, and we finally get to see Chiquita, and Chiquita's living their best life, apparently. So yeah, I mean, the story just continues. And then we come to find out that the people who are running the town are actually aliens.
Yeah.
And she was like, all subterranean peoples are now your enemy. And I was just like, I'm like, yeah, we should have had a real adult with us when we went here. And we didn't have that.
They're gray.
Justin, I agree. I thought they looked abnormal. I mean, I still think she's one of my favorite ones because she was putting in moves. But, yeah. So, didn't in the movie.
Well, I'm glad you got what you wanted from it.
I did. I'm glad for accountability because they didn't have none all last season at all.
That's right.
So I'm glad we finally got it. Did you have any notes about the show?
No, it was a watch.
It was a watch. That's true.
I watched 3 episodes. I feel like we're still off track on finding this other golden ball.
We're never gonna get it. I think, to be honest, we forgot.
That's what it comes off as.
It seems that we forgot about this ball. So,
like, we should have always gone together. They're going to continue to get into nonsense because they love to separate from the group.
I know, and Ira's like, I'm glad she finally said it. She was like, we're all in this together. Why would y'all leave?
They also make it sound like all aliens do is kind of want to get their freak on. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
I just don't know what the show... Yeah, like I said, so... Dandadan's on the thin line.
Watch it just to see where this goes. I'm still just so confused with the direction.
100%. I thought we were getting somewhere. And like the first couple episodes, they were like, this is the direction we're in. And I'm like, okay. But we'll see. But, I'm not as hyped up about this show as, like, the most of the populace is. So, yeah. A lot of people love this show.
They got it, like, listed on the side of, like, real shows. So, it's kind of shocking.
Yeah, but hey, that's fine. All right, your pick.
Speaking of behind, let's do Kaijuu number 8.
Disappointment is mine. And disappointment is mine in About Time. About Time on multiple... Finally, Kafka gets it together. It took forever and a half. I think it was nice of Shinomiya to be all like, hey, maybe Kaijuu number 9 is doing something to block it. And I was like, that's a thought. Right. And then it came down to, it was just his fear. And I was just like, then why are you here? So we come to find that out. I will say I just got even more intrigued by Kaiju number 9 because I wonder if like maybe he's the only Kaiju who's able to absorb other Kaijus and make it a part of his powers.
It sounds like Kaijus devour each other, so I like to think that's not.
Well, no, I mean how this one's intentional about like which ones he's going after.
Right.
Because he makes it seem like he has a plan of like, oh, like I need what you have. And like Kafka's not even aware of what he has. And I'm still annoyed that he hasn't shared, now that he has the whole force with him, he's not sharing with them how it happened. And I feel like that's really annoying.
That would be good. Maybe explaining how number 9 is a human among us.
Yeah.
Maybe explaining how number 9 is continuing to target us. I like to think moving forward, everyone knows, since we find out number 9 was going after number 2.
Right.
Her dad, the director, the whole time. Still didn't really add up how he was locating them while the other ones were out and about.
Right.
Oh, wow. But, stood up.
Yeah.
But after that, it was like, okay, when he does, now, do you believe he's still alive?
No, I think he did.
Okay.
I think he's dead, and this is terrible for me to say, but I'm glad we don't have him anymore. Isao I never liked him because I was like, y'all putting this person on too much of a pedestal and I haven't seen anything. And like I only got to see something in Gen's flashback because Gen's like, hey, this the guy. And I'm like, no, his wife was the guy. And everybody knew that she was the one. And I was like, cool, got to see more of her mom, which was great because I'm just like, cool. She was the person that truly like sacrificed for everything. And I'm just like, cool. She was the one that inspired her entire generation. Got it. To her outfit was great. It was like that battle armor was great. But I was always like, who is this man? Why is he so hard on his daughter? Like, I haven't seen him out in the field. Like, what can he actually do? And when the time came, he couldn't do anything.
Whoa.
And that's me being honest. That's me being honest 100%. Like, you build up all this stuff about how she needs to be at this level and she needs to be able to handle this. And, like, you have this high expectation of your team. You also have this high expectation of Kafka to be like, hey, you need to show up and deliver results or we're going to take you out. And then when the time...
age, he was putting in something.
And that's fine. But I never saw that. And that's fine. And I got to see some of it
when he's fighting the biggest threat to mankind, is number 9. My confusion is, who the heck is number 10?
Yes.
When was number 10 defeated, apparently?
Right.
Because they're working on number 10 in the basement. Now, part of me wants to know, what number weapon did her mom have?
Right.
Because at first, when they were just teasing him going down there, is it ready yet? I was taking it as it's her mom that they were keeping on like some form of life support, something like that. But now we know it's number 10. And now I'm curious, is number 10 what killed the mom? And there's still a chance to save her? And if that's the case, then there's still a chance to save number 9. But also, how did Kaiju number 9 know who number 2 was?
That's what I'm saying.
How does he know some of this?
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's specifically to that kaiju. Because like you said, like we've seen them devour one another, but I feel like he's the only one that's like being very specific.
The human version. The humans are the one who categorize that person as number 2.
But I think this goes back to like how Kaiju number 9 has blended so well in society. Right, sure. And so like he's blended so well into various ranks amongst the organization, because like there was a point where he was a cleaner, another point where he's like out and handling the parks and recreation. So I feel like he's showing us like, hey, I have multiple clones out in the world.
I kind of don't like it because from the intro, they're making it seem like number 9 is about to be the greatest villain.
I mean, I think because it makes me wonder, right, if the Kaiju number 8, the one that Kafka has, I wonder if he was on the run from 9.
trying to scapegoat.
Because like it was because like trying to get away from like whomever, right? So I wonder if that makes me wonder.
I'm curious, did he devour the kaiju that was on those flying animals when they attacked the city that one time?
That's a thought.
Did he devour their, or was that, I'm trying to remember, or was his core taken and they were making a weapon for the vice captain?
Well, no, I don't think his core was taken, because I think this goes back to the thing, because like Kafka got a core out, or whatchamacallit got a core out, and there's like, oh, this isn't his main core, so he's like built up of like different kaiju,
right? And
so that's why I feel like, I don't know, but to go back to your question, is like, why is he going after like the human versions of it? I think it comes down to like Kaiju number 9 has an understanding that, hey, they're turning us into weapons. And they're turning us into, like, a very, like, efficient, purified weapon. So he's just like, of course I'm going to go ahead and take that weapon and add it to myself, because that's basically what he's doing.
Right.
And so that's why I feel like, oh, okay, that makes sense why he's going after number 2. Because, I mean, we don't have any backstory about, like, what type of, like, kaiju number 2 was.
Yeah. I feel like more questions.
I got more questions.
Because
I was a little annoyed that, Mina wasn't there, but I understand that we're in a totally different part of the country. But I don't know.
I mean, because all episode 17 is everybody wants to get stronger. Whoop-de-doo.
I'm like, that's what y'all should be. Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad with Shinomiya saying that. And two, I was annoyed with Gen. He was like, oh, you should have been there. I'm like, she ain't got nobody now. I was like, if she doesn't want to go to this funeral with y'all, she don't got to go to this funeral.
I mean, I like the fact he's like, you got 1 month. Like, he's going to make her stronger in a month. I didn't like Kafka, like, more or less listening in.
Yeah. Because he's not going to do nothing. I feel like this show...
If he's not going to have an internal conversation with the thing that took
100%.
I'm like, yes. What are we doing?
That's what I mean. So I wonder now, is Kafka really a main character of the show? It really just makes me wonder. It makes me wonder now, because I'm just like, I don't really know.
That man gonna remain in that book until he figure out himself, which is in turn having an internal dialogue. Because I can't stand this person.
I can't stand Kafka. I'm just like, he hasn't shown me anything. He hasn't shown me anything. Except for that he knows how to, like, analyze, like, kaiju. But that's from his job of doing, like, doing that work. So, I don't know.
He's good textbook.
He's good textbook. And we haven't seen Reno in a while, so I'm just like,
this would be a good time to switch over to all the other people.
What have they been doing? Yes, when our group got dispersed.
Go ahead and stall that way. That's what you can.
And I like how Gen was like, I don't really want to bring you into my group, because that was real. I was like, I get it. I was like, I wouldn't want to add Kafka because he hasn't shown anything. But then Gen changed his mind. He was just like, I need your help. He said, I don't want it.
I'm very intrigued, because now we know Gen has a weapon in his eye.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 will be his weapon. Like, I would love to see him wield this and stuff, because it is starting to look like he is, in the current day and age troops, he is the strongest. He needs more stuff so he can put in this work.
Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at that. I feel like the power cell is Gen, Mina, and then Mina's second hand. Her right hand. The one who's like, always up to something. But yeah, so that's Kaiju number 8. I don't really have much else to say besides that. Like, yeah. I guess my last thing is, like, I don't think her dad's alive, because, like, he does a good job of, like, pretending to be humans. Yeah. So that's why I feel like, no, this is, like, just regular for him to do something like that. Yeah, I mean, that's
what she did.
Yeah.
So.
Because she's like, nah, he gone. But yeah, so, let's go with Clavatis.
Okay.
I'm trying to say whatchamacallit.
Say what?
The Gachi Kuta.
What about Lord of Mysteries?
Okay, fine. Let's talk about Lord of Mysteries.
I mean, we can do
No. Let's talk about Lord of Mysteries. All right, take us away, Justin. Lord of Mysteries.
I also feel...
Lord of Mysteries.
I mean, I don't know what I'm doing.
In Lord of Mysteries, okay. I'm enjoying it. Because I think I finally got it. I think I finally understand the power thing now. It took forever to have, but I was like, I feel like I finally understand it.
You're there.
I feel like I am there. I get it now.
I have cliff notes. You can clear them up.
Okay.
We find out about the Aurora Order.
Yes, I will say sidebar, what I appreciate about the show, like when they turn the pages, when they do the open book thing, I always pause because this is important information.
Yeah.
It's important information to take note of.
Is it?
It is. Because the world's building.
You've also told me I don't need to remember all the names of these people I'm being introduced to.
Well, no, I mean, I feel like we have to. There's a lot of characters. Like, we have to know who Tis. We have to remember
There's 6 seasons.
I'm telling you. It's, that's word on the street. Will they be able to deliver is another story.
We defeated this nobody who was, as soon as this younger girl got a birthday present
that was crazy
from a teacher, I already questioned everything.
Well, no, I questioned it the moment when she left because he immediately put on his seer vision, which I thought was great because he's not playing around. He's just like, and there's like a distortion or something, and he's just like, But he didn't realize until later that was his sister's friend, and he was like, oh, it's gonna be a problem.
Didn't care for that. The party happened. Cool. Now we have a second word. At first we kept being told the word Hornakis. And now the word Flegraria has shown up. And I'm just like, what are these words? Can we tell the boss guy?
I think
I don't like we don't tell him information.
I get why we don't tell him information. I get why we don't tell the boss because we're living 3 different lives basically.
But we can tell the teacher, our Klein's college teacher, who we find out like in episode 6, Mr. Azik.
Yeah.
At first I was like, oh my gosh, we tell him this fool stuff and now he about to kill us.
But no, he was just like, no, I can trust him. I know he's gonna save my life.
Stuff,
right. Absolutely. But no, I feel like it's okay that he's not telling his teacher because there's multiple things happening at play. Because, like, he's able to go to this gray space, the gray world with the clouds. And that's like, and he's the fool there, which is a totally different pathway than with the teacher. Because he's, like, with the teacher, he's on the pathway of the seer. That's their thing. And so they don't even know that he has another pathway. Because I think that opens up another question is, like, how many people in this world have multiple pathways that are outside of, like, their soul one? You know what I mean? So I'm just like, okay, it makes sense that he's keeping this quiet over here. And then he has a seer. And so I'm just like, I'm okay with him not saying anything.
Got it.
Because, like, I think going back to your, like, the words, I think the words for him is, like, how he's building as the fool. Because, like, this is where it gets kind of interesting because, like, he's learning how to, like, do these new rituals and he's just making up as he goes. So I feel like with him in particular, he's just like, oh, it's important. He's like, if I get a word, he's like, I'm able to, like, create these new, like, prayers and rituals that actually have impact and can do things. And so that's why I'm just like, is that why we're collecting words? Or are the words, like, a part of, like, the recipe that's necessary for these new pathways or, like, for the next sequence for these things?
Right.
So that's why I'm just like, maybe that's why we got another word. But I also took note of, like, the Hornasis and another one. I said, okay, we're getting more words.
Then we saw that play that was by the hero Trish.
But I never trusted him. I said, something's off here.
Yeah, even when we were following them. Oh, well, we got back to following them and somebody came out.
And he was
like, clearly,
this is
Trish.
Trish. And he was like, they look familiar. And I was like, yeah. But then we come to find out that everyone in that order,
all the higher-ups of the demoness sect are all women. And then that did pose the question at the end of the episode, so were all the higher-ups men at one point?
Right.
I was like, okay, got it.
That's right.
And Trish was able to escape. Went on the train.
Yep.
Lit up a cigarette, and everybody offered to light it.
Yeah.
I'm like, great. So we're gonna see this person again?
Absolutely, they're on a train to who knows where because now they're the next in line because of the person that they had before. The lady was like, "Hey, I can't trust them no more. They're out of the picture, so I need you to finish the job." And then he's just like, "Okay." But I don't think he realized that was like what was necessary. But then she was like, hey, if you do this, I'm going to give you the sequence recipe for the witch. Right. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, maybe that's the point. Like when you become like, when you get the sequence potion for the witch, that's when the men become women.
Right.
So I was like, okay. So it was just like building. I was like, oh my gosh.
And then Mr. Isaac, he's just been alive for thousands of years.
Yeah, but then we come to find out earlier in the episode, you know, like his sister's friend, or was it his sister?
I'm trying to see where you're going with this.
Oh, okay, because, was it Elizabeth? Yeah, it was Elizabeth. So, like, Elizabeth, his sister's friend, which goes back to what he said before. He was like, hey, you need to be mindful. Like, you shouldn't be friends with people who are playing with stuff that they don't know nothing about. And two of her friends do that. And I was just like, I hope his sister don't get caught up in it. But she was talking about how she kept having this dream about this castle and this knight. And which led us to the beginning of the episode for episode 6. Where, like, him and the teacher, and they're all there. And they go to, like, the castle and stuff. And they're, like, they're going up against this wraith, which was this knight. And you're just like, who is this knight? Where are they coming from? What's going on? And then he's like, oh, I've seen this castle before, but it's been much more majestic in my dreams. And I'm like, cool, this castle is showing up in 2 different people's dreams. Right. And so I was like, what's the significance here? And then we come to find out later, this goes back to what you were saying initially, like, hey, how come he's telling Azanak, like, what's, like, he's working with him willingly, because we come to find out that Azik's son was the knight that they destroyed earlier in the episode, because he's been there before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what I put 2 and 2 together, because I was like, we see a knight who's like doing the sword and he's headless, and then we go, then like later on we're just like, all right, cool, we disperse this wraith or whatever, and then we go with him to explore the castle. And then he goes to, like, the catacombs, and then literally it's, like, the knight's body there without a head. So I just assumed it was his son who was trying to protect the palace or the castle and stuff. So that's how I took it.
Got it.
So I was like, that's the connection. Because I was like, that's crazy now that he's been brought back to this place basically 3 different times. So I thought that was interesting. So, yeah. But, yeah. So, I'm enjoying the show. It's just very layered. You know, yeah. And they had that whole town on the ground. And I was just like, but then there's that one man that he was like, oh, don't pay him no attention. He was born with high spiritual energy. He crazy.
Yeah, I feel like he has a role to play.
He has a role to play because he was like, you have the stench of death on you. And then he was like, don't pay him no, never mind. And then he was like, how do you know that I died?
Tougen Underground Market.
Right. So I feel like he's definitely going to be someone that comes back around. So I'm enjoying this show. It's just a lot. There's a lot that's happening. I'm enjoying it though. It's just I ain't never seen nothing like it. So it's a lot.
Okay.
Alright, Clematis?
Sure.
Alright. We finally do it. We get the sword.
And then they take it away.
And we get the sword, and those awful bandits had the audacity to ask her to save them.
Right.
And he was like, you a hero, you're supposed to save us. And she was like, I'm not a hero no more. So she was like, I can't help you, and I don't want to. And I was like, 100%. Leave these people here. Like, they've tormented so many people. Don't save them at all.
We find out that they have creatures called Ancient Ones.
Yeah.
Who are dark beasts that live for thousands of years. Mm-hmm. Wakes up every now and again to eat.
And they woke him up.
And that one guy is trash, but Nail tried to save Luna the baby, even while she was dying. She was just hanging on to his expensive coat. That's right. And then he's like, good job, Nail. Like, you're leading us to him. And I was like, okay. You know, we all reconnected again, you know, going about our business. He brings, basically, so Nail dies. And then Alicia's like, well, you need to bring her back because who else is going to take care of Luna? And he was like, well, I have to take what I gave you out of you to bring her back. And she's like, it's fine, it's whatever. And I was like, oh, this is the end of Alicia. I was like, got it. No, so he revived Nell, put her back together, and then Alicia also survived. Like, she
She is still with us, so we're still a party of 3. We're getting ourselves together. We're preparing for our journey to leave. And then, we're approached by this person named Gart, who was ready to take us out. I was like, who is this man? And he was like ready to lay hands, and he was like, I'm going to defeat you.
There was no ready to lay hands. He sent him through a wall. Like, this man was laying hands.
I'm just saying, like, he didn't, like, in a sense, like, he wasn't asking questions. Like, he was ready to go. He was just like, I'm not asking any questions.
Now, we do know after the misunderstanding is cleared up.
Because that's true. He was like, it's just a misunderstanding, at least.
Dark Beast younglings are missing. Mm-hmm. And then also, you got people trading for babies. There seems to be some type of connection here. We are introduced to General Drell Moore, who is the Dragon Slayer.
Who is apparently Alicia's dad's friend, but killed him.
His killer.
Right.
And he introduced magic to the battlefield.
Right. And then Clavatis is like, why didn't you say anything about magic? And she's like, well, I'm not well versed in it. She said, but there are a couple of people that you killed who were, and he was like, huh. I will say I thought it was great because, like, Gart was giving us information where he was like, hey, the person whom I serve, who is another dark beast, and this was great because Alicia was like, wait, there are more of you? And then Clavatis is like, of course there is. And he's like, the world's large, and we just keep y'all in the one spot. And so we get more information about how, like, Gart's like, yeah, the person the monster that I serve is like, hey, something's amiss, something's not right, and we need to take action. And Clavatis is like, interesting, they also were taking action. He's like, I wonder who else is also taking action at this time. So the world's building. We're starting to see that other like dark beast rulers are like, taking note of what's going on in the realm of like humans and humanoids. Right. And they're just like, we're not gonna just let this happen idly. So yeah, but in the meantime, we're being introduced to like how other like countries are like warring amongst themselves, like how Drell is going up against others and doing his own thing.
We're introduced to Menard, who Menard Swan, the most powerful wizard there is.
Yeah.
And I was giving those carpenters some respect. Some of the Ravens survivors, bandit survivors, were making it to town, and they were killing them, and they were hanging them, and they were like, "That's 9 today." And I said, "Man, these guys just take care of business."
Yeah.
If they don't protect their lambs, who will?
That's true.
My only biggest problem is like, why are people not staying with the people you're supposed to protect? Why, in any circumstance, would you, the warrior guy, the warrior protector, why are you leaving the baby when all it is getting food? Let Nell go get the food. Let them bring the food up to you. Why did we leave?
I mean, these are excellent questions. So, I'm here for it. I'm enjoying the show. I'm here for the ride.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a great show. Next show.
Shield Hero.
Okay. It was okay for us to entrust this battle to Foal. It was okay, because I had my doubts. He had his evolution moment. But, I just have nothing but questions. I think it's hilarious that Jarlis was like, I thought he was already close to his beast form, but I guess not, which is why he had to take a potion to become a lion on all fours. I guess that's what they're equivalent into, like, that's the power of, like, the most powerful state, and I'm just like, interesting. Foal got his evolution where he's, like, now fully a white tiger doing his thing, and he did a good job. But then we come to find out that Jarlis had whatever he gave his people ended up turning them into zombies afterwards, and that was like tripping a lot of people up, like, hey, what's going on?
Why were they able to interfere in the battle?
I mean, I think once it got to the point where, because I also had that question too, I think it got to the point where they were okay with it when the people that they defeated came back to life. Or they came back to life as zombies. And I felt bad for the person that Jarla's partner, because I was like, ooh, he turned him into a zombie. I was like, I didn't think he really needed to do that. Because I was like, man, his daughter's there. I was like, that's sad. But he didn't care. And then Jarla's turned his back on, once he was getting defeated by Foe, he was like, I need more power. And he turned himself into a chimera by eating his people. And I think that's where we got to the point of no return. I think that's when everybody was like, yo, we're going in. And that's when, now for me, it was just like, hey, you all stay on the sidelines, because he's trying to eat any and everybody. Like, he doesn't have any, like, coherence of anything. He's not able to, like, tell. So, yeah. But I feel like it was a good match. Like, the siblings put in work, and they got it together. And, they took out Jarla's. We got his backstory. He's a coward. He's awful.
Killed their dad.
He's a charlatan. He's a liar. Not a fan of Jarla's.
And then in Shield Hero fashion, 2 episodes of cooldown, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too bad of a cooldown, because we got what we wanted, which was we leaving.
Right.
We're leaving. We needed to go back to our... Because the point was, like, we were always going to go back to the village to figure out who we were going to take with us to, like, the next place. So I wasn't mad at that, because we also had to figure out what was going on in the homestead. So, and we got that. So, you know, we finally got no more resistance after being in this country. We got to go home. He's like, cool, while y'all finishing that up, we're going to go back to our spot to determine who's going to come with us to this next part of the mission. So, I was totally fine with that.
And then we found out, because what was he, the staff hero? The former king, his sister is falling out to his mom.
Right, we did find that out. So I was like, cool, now we know why he's so obsessed with her.
Yeah, that's the connection.
I was like, that's his niece and nephew. Got it. Yeah, and that's really basically about it. I don't know if I'm happy with the heroes that we're taking with us. I would have preferred us to have the sword hero with us instead of, like, the archer, because, like, I still don't trust him yet.
Right.
I still don't trust him. Like, Moto Fuya, he's just out there being a vigilante for the sake of Philo. And then everyone's just like, I can guess who made this footprint. I was like, that's fine. Who made this hole in the ground? I was like, okay. But then I think we get back to the story where now for me, he's sitting down and the princess is like, hey, you need to really, like, think about connect with Vittoria, because, like,
that's why I didn't like. She said she already sent your reward. And
right.
I was like, well, what the heck is it?
I was like, so why aren't we doing what she wants? Yeah, so that's why I'm like, okay, cool. We're setting that up for that. And, yeah, we're just basically determining, like, who's coming with us. I'm not mad at the party that we're building. And now it's going to be go time. So we can finally finish what we needed to do instead of being stalled this whole time. So, but, yeah, so Shield Hero, I'm enjoying it. As per usual, it's a good show.
Like 2, because saying we're going way over 2 hours at this point. So let's see here.
Who we got?
Sakamoto Days.
Yeah, Sakamoto Days.
So we got Sakamoto Days and One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on in Sakamoto Days?
Sakamoto Days.
My Netflix got rid of me.
Oh wow, that's real. Okay,
Yeah.
so much. Oh man, okay, so much happened. The old man.
Okay.
His name is he's called the Phantom.
Oh.
He's the Phantom of the Order, and
Not
so
the
now.
Fly Killer.
No,
Okay.
I mean we can still call him the Fly Killer, but he is the Phantom of the Order,
Okay.
and it got really fast. So basically, like last time we left off with Slur and his like henchmen coming, and I was like, man, if he can do that with his hands, what can he do with this like weapon he got on his back? So like basically, they're storming the Order, like they're storming that branch of the Order, right? And, like, it was kind of annoying where a lot of the people, the employees, were not taking it seriously. One person like, hey, aren't you going to vacuum? He said, no, I got work to do. And then immediately, he said, until we're on the 3rd floor, there's no way they're going to get all the way up to the 3rd floor. Immediately, because Slur's like, hey, you keep going upstairs. He said, remember, the bathrooms on the odd floors. And I was like, that's important, I guess. And he was like, I'm going to go handle some other stuff, so I'll connect with you later. He was like, cool. So he's taking people out on the 3rd floor. And immediately the guy, like, before the person could even, like, respond about, like, oh, yeah, like, I got work to do, he immediately knocks off, like, destroys the 3rd floor. And then he's just like, oh, man, I got to go to the bathroom. What bathroom? Like, what floor? Is it on again? Is it on odd or is it on even? So then he had a mini moment, but then we had, lower ranking people who are kind of like on the roster of the order, like people who actually like identify unique characters. Right. They were like, hey, we got to put in work. And this one guy was like, man, I knew I shouldn't have came in today. Because he was like, just keep firing until I tell y'all to stop. And then he was like, stop. And then he was going to do a move and then someone came through the wall. And then it was just like a really good like fight scene. And he was just, like, going at it. And they really couldn't stop him. So he continues to go through the floors. And then we go back to, like, Sakamoto doing his thing. As they realized that they also needed to go to... They basically realized that they also needed to go to, like, the Order 2. And so, like, they ended up making their way there. But at the same time, this is what I love about the fans of the old guy, because this entire time, when we last saw him, he was at the, Tokyo Tower or whatever. And so he was like basically one stop and headed he was on his way to the Order because he showed up right on time. And so like the young guy could feel like the presence. He was like, hey, whoever this is, because, yeah, his name's Gaku, he was like, whatever this is, I don't want it. He said, this is a bad old man. And then the old man is not running. He's just walking patiently. And he's, like, fighting Gaku, like, full force. And, like, Gaku is just like, I don't want this. Like, I don't want this. I didn't sign up for this. He's, like, running and, like, crashing through windows and doors. And then the old man is slowly coming up the stairs. And he's just, like, and then he collides into Slur, and he said, why are you running? And then he was just like, oh no. So even Slur was like, he's here. He said, we gotta go, because that's when Sakamoto and like Slur are about to go up, because then Sakamoto realized like, oh, you're Uzuki, and we get backstory that Slur is Uzuki, and Uzuki went to school with Sakamoto and whatchamacallit. He was like, they were in the same class, and so and that's when, like, when they come later at the end, like, Sakamoto's like, hey, I know who Slur's identity is. And then when he tells him that, he's just like, the whole dynamic changed. He was like, okay. He said, I thought you killed him already. And he was like, I did too, and that's not what happened. So going back to the fight where, like, Slur was up against Sakamoto, and then the old Phantom, the Phantom Man is there, because apparently Slur had someone, in true fashion, like, had someone in the Order whose name is like Ube, and Ube was doing like the long haul, like long con, like being there for like 1 to 2 years to put in work. And so Gaku's like, hey, whoever this old man is, I didn't sign up for this, let's go. And then Slur's like, yeah, we gotta leave. He said Ube, and then Ube's like, no, it'll be okay. He said, no, we need to leave. And then so they started to proceed to leave, and the old man was like stopping them, like, destroying the whole building in the process. And even Sakamoto was like, hey, he's like, y'all need to stay out of this fight, like, you're just gonna get in the way. And it's true, because like Shin ended up getting in the way because he was like, oh, this is my moment to try to help out. And then like Sakamoto's like, why would you do that? Because like he was trying to go up against Slur while the old man was doing his thing, and like Shin thought he could really do something, but he basically kind of put like, he just messed it up. And I'm glad he addresses it later. But it was a really good fight. Ube ended up sacrificing himself, and like Slur was like, I'm sorry you have to do this, because he self-destructed. And that was the only way to stop the old man Phantom. And so they all escaped. I don't know if the old man died. I don't think he did. I just think it just destroyed the building, because like I was like, but it was interesting though, because like the old man was mumbling a lot. That's how he speaks. But after the explosion happened, Slur got up and he started to immediately mumble like the old man. And I was like, well, what happened? I said, did he actually die? Is this part of the old man's thing? I was like, what's the power? I don't know. So I was really confused about that. And there was a moment where Gaku was like, hey, who was that person? Because like I'm more concerned about who that guy was. And then Slur was like, now that he's involved, so that lets me know that he didn't die. He was like, now that he's involved, he said we need to rechange our strategy, and we need to bring on new people. Oh. So now they're about to go bring in new people, because like Gaku was like, oh, we're going to bring in some, like, people we already know. He said we're going to, like, pull people from the order. He said, no. We need fresh people. And so now they're about to start bringing in some people. And then we go to another part where Sakamoto's like, hey, we need to get more information about what's going on. And so one of the people in the who are part of like the top ranks of the order, the guy with the chin, the metal chin, he was like, Sakamoto was like, yeah, how can I get this information? And then he was like, I'm not telling you nothing, you're not part of the order. He said, but if I were to, like, I would suggest you go to JCC. And then we come to find that JCC is the high school that they all went to, the school they went to. And then Sakamoto was like, interesting. And then Shin was like, why does that matter? We're not going to go to school or whatever. And basically we're going to be transfer students. And we come to find out there is no age limit for JCC people. So we get on the plane to go. So it's Shin and Sakamoto who are trying to become transfer students. And immediately while they're in midair, that's when like the first exam happens. And they have like and it's just like a whole thing. So we're being identified by people who are strong. And Shin was getting like put like this 14-year-old was like putting in work on him. But then like Shin immediately like rectified it. He was like, I've been here before. Stop it. So we basically end up with a fight in the sky. And those who survive are the ones who are going to pass the exam to go on to the next thing. And so that's where we are now. I think that part's dumb. So, so Sakamoto days. I'm enjoying the show. I think we should have brought Lou with us over Shin. Or
she seems like she would be able to blend in more in the school. Yeah, she'd be able to blend in more in the school. And I just think it's dumb. I'm just like, everyone knows who you are, Sakamoto. So why are you going through this, like, rigmarole of trying to enroll in the school that you already graduated from? Yeah, I was like, just go to the school and be like, hey, I need information. Like, I don't understand what's right. I was like, I don't understand why this is so hard to do. So I feel like this might be a little annoying, but that's really about it. So it was action packed. I would win on it. Sakamoto Days. It's a good show. It's a good watch. I think the last one is One Piece, right? Yep. Let's see here.
Oh, no, that's not true. We didn't talk about Gachika.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, so Gachika, it got real really fast. It got real really, really fast. I'll let you take a moment to get your notes. Oh, man.
Okay, we meet Simu.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just questioning what exactly did she see in his potential.
Mm-hmm.
And Ijin clearly knows there's more because he might get back.
Yeah, he's not telling people a lot of stuff right now. He's very withholding.
It's really weird in the intro when it first starts.
Yeah.
It seems very Attack on Titan.
It does, but it's a good song.
Yeah,
it's like Sun Forever. I was like, this is good.
I just love a lot of hands already.
Me too. I was like, this is great. I was like, it's definitely Attack on Titan.
I just picture Titans doing it, and then it gets like too heavy metal for me, and I'm just like, all right, get back to the Forever part.
Okay.
This is too much for me. And then I just like how they're like, hey, we can show you around. Usually no one's here.
And then everybody's here. Everyone is there.
Everyone's here. And
yes.
He's like, this is a lot. So we get some information. There are 6 confirmed no man land areas. Mm-hmm. That's where we were found in one of those. Mm-hmm. There are different breeds of trash beasts that come in different sizes. And then I was just like the whole time, like, unless he was like born of this world, because it's like, can you keep your gas mask on? We have been told.
Yes.
Keep it on.
Yes.
Tired of it.
Okay.
We are introduced to Gris, and Gris is physically strong.
I love Gris.
I immediately, episode 5. Again, I told you I was going to get over it, and I stopped.
Okay.
Because when I have short notes, that's when I watch the whole episode, then I go back and write stuff.
Right.
But on the really strong shows, I write as I watch.
Yes.
And I put, okay, we're introduced to Gris, Ribion. ... Probably gonna die.
Yes, that was immediately my thought. I said, man, I love Gris. He's the man. I really don't want him to die. And I was like, we're learning too much about these background characters.
Right, I was like, this will spark or fuel Rudo.
Yes.
And then I said, we also need Folo, the young supporter,
who has latent potential. Yeah, who has latent potential. Apparently.
Yeah, we find that out
because we do find out that I kind of makes me wonder, like, anyone could technically become a giver,
right? If
they take the time and effort to like develop a good relationship with their
what
weapon.
I don't understand is why.
Why what?
Why does he want to go back up there? There's nothing for you there.
I mean, Rudo.
Maybe to get revenge, you would need answers.
You know what? To be honest, and this is an unpopular opinion. I feel like the person who killed Regato isn't even on the spear. I feel like he's from the ground.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm just like, I think that's interesting. So I don't understand why he would want to go back up there either, unless you're trying to destroy the entire like infrastructure up there. Then sure.
Not to mention, you keep seeing all types of treasure trolls down here.
I was like,
start collecting.
You're more accepted here than you were up there. You know.
And then we start to see this dude in the shadows who really wants to kill Spirites.
Mm-hmm.
And I just paused and I was like, I really love the art style of the show.
I do too. I think it's different. It's refreshing.
Yeah, I was all about it. And then I was like, they were like, hey, there's a quest and it involves a Spirite. And I was just like, this seems like a trap. And then sure enough, someone randomly shows up behind us.
Mm-hmm.
They say, oh, the trash beast is in that building. And I'm like, what is this, like a humanoid trash beast?
I was like, trash beasts don't go out. Even though I don't know much about trash beasts, I know that they don't be in buildings. Like,
we already assumed they're not in buildings.
They're not in buildings. And I feel like, why? And my thing was like, I was a little annoyed that we had...
I was in me like, this is a trap.
This is a trap. I feel like we should have had someone else with us. Like, I wasn't feeling, not to say that I don't think Zanka isn't strong. I'm just saying from who we saw with, like, Ryu or whatever, I feel like let's just keep the momentum going because, like, that's usually her support group anyway.
Well, we were told Engine was going to go with him. So.
Right. And I feel like shame on him for not being there. But I'm just saying, like, I thought just because,
like, show up.
But I feel like she's used to working with those like support people, and she has a better dynamic than Zanka does.
I think they're just interchangeable. Like
that's real. Okay.
They help go out on whoever's available for a mission.
I suppose.
So yeah, it was a trap. Apparently, purple lanterns mean the raiders. So I was like,
and they are also givers. So
all raiders are givers.
And so we're just like, cool, got it.
Zanka defeats them.
Perhaps.
He does.
I just don't know. I mean, just like...
He does. They're both defeated. And then we just see this dude right behind him. And I'm like... That's when I was like, yo, this dude is so cool. So we meet Jabberwonger.
Yeah.
This dude can go.
He can. And he was just like...
It is rude.
He is rude. And he was just like... They're just like, hey, where's Zanka? He was like, I think... he alive. He said he didn't like my poison though. And then he just kept, he's like, but let's not worry about him. Like, we here.
He sailed off the exit. So
right.
Like physically strong.
Mm-hmm.
He saw potential in Folo. So he was like, okay.
He was like, okay. So it made it seem like he wasn't going to kill him. Because he was like, he said, you have potential. He said, you're just strong. But you don't have potential. So he was like, I'm not interested. He killed Gris.
He killed Gris while Gris was like supposed to be doing his speech. I was like, he wasn't even letting people finish talking.
I was like, and Gris is someone who I was like, let's keep it classy and let him finish what he has to say.
And I said, I know I called it, but
not that fast.
Yeah, I was like doing it the next episode early. I was like, I said, man, that's messed up.
It is.
And then Gris in Gris fashion. Has a speech. He's like, we got it all wrong. His power isn't to turn objects into vital instruments. It's to bring out their full and uninhibited worth.
Right.
I was like, bet. It looked like he was beating Jabberwonger.
Mm-hmm.
And then he basically gave himself an anesthetic.
I think he gave himself his own poison.
Yeah.
And I think, and what I like about the show is that no one truly know. I feel like Gris is the only one who now understands, but Gris is dead. Like, he's the only one who knows what his true power is. And so, like, Jabber's just like, oh, you just have, like, a defensive thing. So he doesn't realize that the item he has wasn't his. Like, it was Gris's. And the fact that, and I wonder that, like, is he only able to pull out an item's true potential if he has a connection or learns the backstory of it? Because, like, he didn't know, like, he found out from other people, like, oh, yeah, Gris carries his amulet around for protection. And he's like, and that's like he got the backstory. So because he had that backstory, he was able to pull out the true thing of, like, where he doesn't get touched by anything.
But there was no backstory with the plunger.
Well, he didn't really turn the the plunger didn't turn into anything. He just had the plunger just swinging it around.
Got it.
And it just had, like, poop on it. And I feel like that's what made that powerful. So,
that's fine.
But yeah, so so now I'm even more intrigued by, like, Rudo's ability and, like, how he's gonna move through it. I wonder if he's someone who's gonna have, like, just an arsenal of just, like, items with him at all times. Because now I'm like, right. I hope he doesn't. Even though Gris passed, I hope he does not give back that item to Gris, because I'm just like, no, this is something that we need to have, like, moving forward, because, like, it's obviously like the ultimate, like, defense thing.
Yeah, and like you said, we don't know to what the extent of the ability is.
Right.
Would he be able to make sure? Again, it's for all of us to. It's for all of us to make it home. So it's like, if he tried to attack Gris and them, now that this is activated, would he not be able to?
Right. Or does it also, or, like, is it just protection, or does it, like, now that Gris has been mortally wounded? Because we don't know, because I hope that Gris ain't dead, but I was like, does it also have a healing function as well? Right. Because I'm just like, technically Gris is the true owner of the thing, so is it going to be able to heal Gris? I don't know. So I'm excited to see what happens next. I'm intrigued. Sure. And, hopefully Zonka's okay. We'll find out later. But, yeah. Yeah. All right, One Piece. So, I'm still keeping my same energy about Vegapunk. I'm just getting more and more, like, disappointed with this person as a character.
I just like F you, Saturn. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Saturn's the worst. Like, I'm not a fan of this person at all. I'm just not here for it.
He fed a baby a devil food.
And, like, and I'm just like, all through this experimentation, and I'm just like, you've just been toying with these people the whole time, and it just makes me wonder, is Saturn truly powerful, or is it just because he's just like he's the top scientist?
We still need to know what his power is.
Because we don't even know. Because that's another thing. I just don't really know. I'm like, is he only powerful because they're like, oh, he's made landfall? And I'm like, is it because, like, no one's supposed to see it? I was like, that's not really power. That's just more secrecy. Like, I just... and then also, like, most people are like, they faint because I'm like, well, people be fainting with hockey, so I can't really say that that's, like, his power or anything like that.
Yeah,
so
they couldn't move at one point.
Right, they couldn't move at one point, but I'm like, is that because of his power, or is it because, like, he's, like, done some type of, like,
experimentation?
Is he, like, leaking some type of, like...
Is it a type of hockey?
Like, what's he doing? I just need more answers about that. Luffy's in the background. At some point he gets food. I'm just like, okay.
It's just some of the little things that kind of just annoy me. Like, Frankie trying to punch an elder and thinking it's going to do something.
I never saw it as doing so. Because here's my thing with Frankie. I don't ever think Frankie... When he attacked... No. I mean, I think he thinks. No, I'm just saying, I feel like when it comes to Frankie, when he gets onto the scene when these pivotal moments, it's not about whether or not he's doing damage. I think it's more about the fact of, like, he's like, hey, I need to make sure, like, what happens doesn't happen. So, like, I think his whole point was to distract Saturn so that he would drop Bonnie and so that he wouldn't, kill Bonnie. But I also was annoyed by how long his beam was taking to, like, come together. Yeah. And so that, for me, I was like, oh, this wasn't going to actually, like, do so. This is more of, like, a distraction to make sure that he loses focus so that Bonnie is dropped. Because that's the whole thing. Because, and then Kuma comes. Because, like, now we finally get Kuma's back. Because we saw when he left, you know, the Revolutionary Army, and they're like, he on a route, he's headed somewhere, and now we know he's been headed to Egghead this whole time. He's just been headed to Egghead, and so now he's here. And so it was nice. It was like a reunion moment, but not really a reunion moment, because it's like. But then I think this also like leaves me with questions about like who were the Buccaneer people, to the fact where like he was not supposed to have any kind of like self-awareness or autonomy, but because like he was able to sense that something was happening with Bonnie, that he was able to come and like protect Bonnie.
Right.
So I'm just like, is this like, because even Saturn's just like, it's like you these Buccaneer people, and I'm just like, well, what's the history with these Buccaneer people were able to do this? And you know, then we come to find out that Saturn's under the impression that he should have a self-destruct button, and then Vegapunk's like, well, did I put a self-destruct button in there?
Well, he got stabbed for it.
Yeah, he did get stabbed for it, which is, I'm like, okay. But
I think I see what you're saying about Vegapunk. Because Saturn was just like, oh, by the way, after he initiated Buster Call, by the way, I had that boat of scientists killed. And he was like, you know, how could you? Mm-hmm. These are innocent people. And Saturn's like, you got them involved in this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if any of them know anything about the past. You did this.
Yeah.
So I was like...
That makes sense. It makes sense for real. Because it's just like... That's what I mean. Because I'm just like, how detached are you? Or how unaware are you? Because I'm just like, your actions have consequences. You had all these people. And that's like the perfect thing. Like, you had all these people. You wanted them to make sure that they escaped. And then... But Saturn's right. He said, you got this... He said, same thing with O'Hara. And it makes me wonder, like, how involved was he with O'Hara? For O'Hara to, like, you know...
Well, he wasn't involved.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, behind the scenes.
You mean Saturn?
Like, no, I mean, with Vegapunk. Because, like, yes, he made the comparisons with O'Hara, but once the remains were there, him and Dragon immediately went there.
Right.
So my question is, like, how tied or how connected was Vegapunk
how much
truly?
Did you know?
How much did you know, and how much were you in communication with them before, right? And so I'm just like, did you at some point spark someone's interest for them to move forward?
He didn't have any. Because just like how he kind of gave the speech to Saturn about being a fellow scientist and questioning certain things because Saturn doesn't believe in emotion, it just came off when they went to O'Hara. He just came to pay his respects to fellow people who was trying to achieve knowledge.
Right.
And so that's how he went about it. We got a new intro.
You did, yes, we did.
And the whole time, I credit where it's due. They were showing us from underwater, bubbles going up. Then Saturn said that remark. I'm like, dang, so that must be the scientist.
Yeah.
But then toward the end of the episode, it's a warship that got sunk, and we're seeing it from their view. So I'm like, oh, snaps, these scientists got out. So I was like, okay. And then once again, they got me again. You know, he pulled me back in. I think I want to call Vegapunk Stella instead of...
I'm okay with that. Because that's how that's how his other parts call him Stella.
Yes. But, you know, apparently he had put in a code inside the pacifistas to help Bonnie. And I was like, let's go. Because he was like... And at a certain point, what power does Saturn truly have?
I think that's our question with all the elders, though.
When they're falling, instead of Saturn, you telling the pacifistas to shoot them down, how about you do something?
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm really questioning, what can Saturn do? Because I know like there's another part, you know, like from before, I was just like, I don't know how strong he is. Like, I don't really know if he can truly kill people, because I'm just like, you've had all these moments and opportunities. What's taking so long? And then too, it goes back to like that scene that we saw, like, you know, when we were at the World Summit, right? Where we saw the shadows of all the elders. And Saturn's was this Arknight thing, and then everyone else's had another form. So I'm just like, is this like devil fruit related? Is this curse related? This, like, do you have powers from this?
Was it power given to you?
Was this power given to you? Is this your punishment? Like, what's going on? So for me, it's hard for me to say whether or not Saturn's strong, because I feel like he's had a lot of opportunities and moments, because like too many times he's just like, why, like, he's too much is he asking questions instead of like doing things.
Can't someone else do it?
Yeah,
like,
he keeps assigning it to somebody else. And then even when it gets to the point where I think what is it, her name's like Puppy Dog or something, where she's like, hey, we're ready, like you're doing the Buster call or whatever. She's like, hey, it's time for everybody to get off the island or whatever. And then he was like, no, me and Kizaru are gonna stay.
See this through.
He said, we're gonna see this through to make sure that y'all don't pull any shenanigans. And he was like, we'll leave when it's time for us to leave. And so I'm just like, how committed is he to staying truly throughout this Buster call?
Right.
And like, you know, Vegapunk is just shocked, like, oh my god, like Egghead is about to be destroyed. And I'm just like, well, yeah, it is. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah, I didn't care for his whole frozen situation kind of thing. But yeah, he at least gets the code what Barney needs to say for the pacifistas to help them.
Yeah.
Pacifistas are attacking. Vegapunk in his last breath is telling Bonnie, you didn't realize, and then that's when the ground is bouncing, the buildings is dancing.
And that's what you hate. You don't like this silliness. But I'm down for it because I feel like it's all about who Luffy's character is. I feel like it's growth and development of like from when we were at Dressrosa where Doflamingo showed like this is how you truly use your fruit, which made us question initially like what fruit is like the Gomu Gomu fruit, right?
Right.
Because like Dressrosa, because like Doflamingo was like you should be able to do this in some capacity. Like these types of fruits are able to impact their environment. And so now Luffy's at a point where he can do that. But I know that you're not a fan of that. But I appreciate it because we're going up against very like hard, rough, rigid organizations, and the fact that they're being shattered and like challenged through like this silliness, this like joyous thing, and they can't comprehend it.
So Bonnie realizes Luffy is Nika, and then that's when we see the bottom of their faces. It's the Elbaf Giants. The boat pulls up. It's huger than all other boats. I don't know what did the warships think were going to happen with them shooting cannons that are the size of stones.
Right.
Pebbles to
Yes.
them. And then we got some backstory. They were like, what are they doing here? They disbanded over 100 years ago. So we got the Giants, Dory and Brogy. They come and wiping out the rest of the fleet from behind. The pacifistas are shooting people closer to the coast. And now they're telling Luffy that they're here. So now we got a situation where we might have these guys also helping fight Saturn and Kizaru. The whole time we're Nika. Sanji's back with them. We still, the silliness continues. Even though we also have one of Vegapunk's brains with Brooke. Mm-hmm. Brooke was the one to figure out how to get the boat moving.
Yeah, it's like, let's freeze this and ride it. I was like...
But she can't come up with a way to stop it?
Because, she was like, how are we going to stop it? And I was like, I don't think that's for him to figure out.
You're supposed to be the smartest person in the world. You have the knowledge.
That's how you introduced yourself when we first met you. So
I was confused by that. Mm-hmm. They kind of just went away from the Zoro Lucci fight.
Which
Hopefully it's over.
I hope it's over because personally, do I want to see it? No. I feel like I want to see Zoro walking away and him down for the count.
I wanted to see that instead of the bit of fighting we saw with them, right. Because I feel like it. You can believe in it or not, it sets the tone, like, so Luigi could live in the same world as King. And I didn't care for that. So...
I don't care. I think, for me, I'm just hoping that I know this isn't the last time we're going to see Lelouch and those people, unfortunately. Which is why I'm okay with, like, we already had that rigmarole between him and Luffy. I don't want to see another 3 to 4 episodes of somebody going up against this guy who's not worth it.
Well, I want him done.
Yeah.
And we saw the rest of them, so it's kind of weird that the rest of them had gotten that status when they were with Marija. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping Sabo just killed all of them because they should be weaker in comparison.
They should be. So, who knows? I mean, CP0... Who knows with these people? But that's this week's episode of Kaizoku Uncharted, and yeah.